You got the Dusty Cup later? Kick ass, man. Somebody hit my music.
Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
money.
Let's get to the
money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
And here we go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Balking Dead, where there is no sleep for the wicked. It is Tuesday, so we get to eat. Speaking ribeyes with Mike, as well as a packed slate that we get to talk about. As you already know, this show is sponsored by W. It's a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. And by scanning that QR code on screen, you're going to get 10% off your first order by using the best promo code on God's green earth. Pub Sports, that is. On this show, we talk the opening line of a player's K-prop and then the best line available 30 minutes prior to the show. And then we're going to compare it and see what PrizePicks has to offer. Of course, this show is also sponsored by PrizePicks, so if you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSPORTS and get a match deposit on your first deposit up to $100, minimum of $25. If you haven't already on your way in, do me a favor and smash that like button, as it does help the algorithms more than you know. As you better be already subscribing. If you haven't, make sure you do hit that subscribe as well. First guy up on the board, we get to talk about number 22 in the 22. We get to talk 22 in the black book, Eduardo Rodriguez versus the Halos, the Angels. He's striking people out this year at a 26.8% clip. Well, he's walking people at a 5.5% of the time. I opened him up 7+ minus 160 on DraftKings. The best line available is still minus 160 to the 5.5 or plus money 1 up. PrizePicks has him at a flat 6, where his hits allowed on PrizePicks are under over at a flat 5. Projected lineup, as it's still not out, is 7 righties and 2 lefties. Excuse me. We start the day in Detroit, talking Eduardo Rodriguez at the Angels. And when we go look at their numbers versus left-handed pitchers, we have to go back 30 days to get 200 plate appearances. And it says they're the best in the league in walk percentage, while tops in the league in smashing the ball, with a team isolated power of 216. Yet, striking out league worst 29.3% of the time. So let's go see who they've been hitting and striking out to, so since that's what the numbers say. Carlos Rodon, who got clapped because he couldn't find the strike zone, going 4.1 innings, walking 5, while striking out only 3. Big Fram Diesel tied a career high, going 6.1 innings, giving up 5 runs, but had them 13 jalopies next to his name, while walking 2. Blake Snell, he went 5 innings, 0 earned runs, with also putting himself up a 7-piece. Where the rest of the guys they have seen in that time span, which is a whole month, They're middle to end of the rotation type of guys. Now, I get the walks from Snell, as Snell has walked people at a disgusting 13% clip on the year. In Rodon, it was his third start, and it definitely doesn't look like he is back to being himself, as he did miss the whole year up until now. Big Fram, guys, his box score looks worse than really what it is, as his calf did cramp up on him and was taken out the game and was charged with all the guys that were left on base in the 7th inning. Now, the walks are a little disturbing, guys, from Big Fram Diesel, as he don't walk nobody, and he did end up with 2 that day, as like Eduardo Rodriguez, he has an elite walk percentage next to his name. And I know the Angels have been smashing lefties, but good pitching beats good hitting every day of the week. And even if he gets hit hard just for 1 inning and settles back in here, they're going to let him go 6 innings. And I know the Angels have been the best team at taking their walks versus lefties. Then why the fuck are the books asking you to bet his over 1.5 walks, giving you even money at that price? I mean, he's only hit that over 7 of his last 10 games. He's had 2 or more walks. If Eduardo Rodriguez doesn't walk and only has 1 bad inning, and I mean, it can happen. It's the Angels. They can hit lefties, guys. And if he keeps that bad inning from happening more than twice, this man hit 7 in his sleep. But at the end of the day, I do need lineups, even though Eduardo Rodriguez does bring in the key that I look to attack these Angels with, and that key being elite strikeout and elite walk percentages next to your name. And that's what this man does carry into this meeting with him. So depending on what the lineups are, because I do want it to match the overall team numbers strikeout percentage as well, I am going to look to either alt him down at that 5.5 with that juice and see how I can get that juice down. Or maybe if the lineup is telling me like, okay, Sharpie, you don't need to alt this, man. Get in on some plus money and get in where you fit in. So the lineup will tell me how I am going to get in on Eduardo Rodriguez today, as the numbers say play, but the hitting numbers say he could get his freaking dome whapped off. And like Braxton Garrett, if you're getting the shit kicked out of you, you're not going to get put back out there, guys. It's just, part of the freaking baseball, I guess. Don't want to be on the bad end of it sometimes. 34 in the black book is the next guy up, and that's Eduardo Cabrera at the Rays, and he's striking people out this year at a 29% clip. Well, he's walking people 14.2% of the time. Opening line is 6+ plus 102 on FanDuel. We're the best line available to that 6+. Oh, that was 7+ plus 102 on FanDuel. We're the best line available now is over 5.5 minus 145 on FanDuel, where PrizePicks has them at a flat 6. I'm sure it's dropped as well as the line dropped, whereas earn run hits and outs were not available on PrizePicks. The lineup came out right before the show, and it is 5 righties and 4 lefties. And we get to talk this Edward Cabrera at the Rays, where after he came off the IL last week, going 5 innings with 6 punches on 74 pitches, he should be ready to handle his normal workload of around 90+ pitches today. So let's go look at the Rays numbers since the All-Star break, since that is where the 15-day mark goes. And they are walking below league average and striking out 23.5% of the time. Well, they are hitting the ball with a nice isolated power of 169. So let's go see who they've seen in that span, as Nathan Eovaldi went 6 innings with only 2 strikeouts. And that's the only guy they've seen in that span of those numbers. So let's just go back to the first of the month and see guys we would bet on. Spencer Strider, went 6 innings and slayed 11 Rays. Charlie Morton did Charlie Morton things, did what he does on the road, 6.1 innings while only striking out 6. Aaron Nola decided to freaking one-up Strider. 7.1 innings, getting 10 punches, where George Kirby had himself 7 through 7. And let's throw in some Luis Castillo, where he had himself 6 through 6. So they've seen some guys in the last 4 weeks, guys, and the K-props would have hit about 50% clip. And if you played those guys 50%, you lost some juice, and that's not what I'm trying to do when I bet a K prop. The only reason Cabrera doesn't hit this over, in my opinion, is the fact he can end up walking himself out the game. And with the Rays being one of the more analytical teams in the league, and I wrote this up before the lineups came out, mind you, I did expect them to run out more right-handed bats than the 5 that they actually projected. Cabrera walks both sides of the plate. It's disgusting. Let's just be real. When you've got a 14.2 walk percentage next to your name, I don't care what side of the plate you're looking at. I mean, if you want to be real, it's better versus the right-handed side. It's 13%. We're 15 on the left-handed side. So do as shall wilt with that one. But let's get into these hitting numbers from the right-handed side of the plate, guys, as they're lopsided when they face Edward Cabrera. Lefties are only hitting $173 compared to $252 from the right-handed side, as well as the on-base percentage and the slugging both go up 50-plus points. So this is the spot where I'm going to need the lineups, as yes, they did come out, guys, and the overall numbers did say they're not walking, but I have not had time to look at it. And while we get our ribeyes with mics going, I will have time to run a few of these lineups that I need to do the rest of the lineup works on. So we will be having some live bets dropped as I finish up my lineup work, as we talk of some hitting props. So Sharpie can't do 2 things at once, but thank God we've got us another guy showing up today. So I obviously, like I was saying, was going to need to run this, as we do know that the Rays do whiff. They are a top 10 in that whiff percentage category, guys. And if we go back over the last 5 weeks, Cabrera's had 4 matchups versus top 10 teams in that span, in that whiff category. That's pretty crazy that he's seeing that again. Now, he is only 2-2 to the over right there, but I can't take nothing into the 2 losses. He came out the Kansas City game while humming on a low pitch count due to a blister. Okay, and so what? Okay, so let's go get into it again. What happened in the next game? It was the next game after the blister where we didn't bet on him. Yes, I lost on the blister bet. We didn't bet him on the next because I'm not betting on a fucking guy who just got pulled due to a blister and then his next pitching outing. Not for me, Shaggy. Negative, but we're getting to the point of he ended up getting hurt and pulled and going to the IL after that game. So those 2 games mean absolutely nothing to me because he did see 2 good teams in whiff percentage, but the numbers say yaddy dotty, we don't like to potty because the motherfucker was hurt and then got hurt in the game. So the other two teams that we're going to look at, guys, that we need to go see what happened in this last 5 weeks is, he had a 10-pack versus the Oakland A's. Why? Because he only walked 1 person that day. And what was the other game he struggled in? Charpleta struggled versus the Angels, who are in the top 10 whiff percentage. And why did he struggle? Because the man ended up walking 4 people that day. My bad. Let's not throw him under the bus and be that bad. So like I started this off, Edward Cabrera hits this if he keeps his walks down. Now, if he doesn't, he's always due to run into a big inning, and always you can get pulled when you end up getting whoppity-doppitied as a la Braxton Garrett. This is the same motherfucking coach. So these are young kids. They don't like these young kids taking beatings. And, Mike M talks hitting props today. I will run this lineup and see if I will get involved with Edward Cabrera, as like I said, I need a very low walk percentage from this team. And let's get into another guy that I want to bet, but it does show some rain in the game, but they should play if they go. And my cat looks like she wants to get killed right now because she's fucking with my shit. And if she just pissed on my couch, I'm going to beat her ass. Justin Verlander at the Yankees, number 42 in the black book. Striking people out at a 20.6% clip while walking people 7.6% of the time. Open them up 7+ -112 on FanDuel, where the best line available is now 6+ -155 on MGM, or still to the plus money 1 up. PrizePicks has them at a flat 6. And give me one quick second. I just want to beat that cat's ass. Fucking bitch, get away from shit. I never do that. That's totally terrible by Sharpie, but that cat just fucking pissed on like $100 shirt right now. And yeah, had to smack her ass. Shit happens, right? Call PETA on me then. I don't give a damn. So let's get into it, guys. The lineup came out. 6 righties, 3 lefties, as I do want to finish the lineups on this as we get into the hitting props, because this was another one that I did need the lineups before I made the call, and it came out as the show was about to start. Game does show rain in this, but it should clear up like I said. And like I said earlier, man, we got 60 live and 28 likes. Smash the like button if you can, guys. I'm tired of asking for it. You know, I bust my ass. You know, sometimes it don't come out my way, but I take hours on hours, guys, to write everything out and give you guys my opinions. All I ask for is a like. So smash it if you can. And let's talk some JV as he gets another crack at these Yankees after cashing his over 5.5 the first time seeing this team back on June 14th. Going 6 innings, 1 earned run with 6 punchouts, and a spot where we were on him. Now, when we look at the Yankees' numbers over the last 15 days, overall numbers that is, they're walking at a nice 10%, hitting the ball with a nice isolated power of 168, yet striking out 25% of the time. And the actual projected lineup, guys, which, like I said, it's projected, their walk percentage drops down to 8%, while their strikeout percentage still stays near that 25%. So when we look at the lineup book at the last time he played it, it sure as fuck would have said run for the hills, as they were walking 11% of the time while only striking out 20.5% of the time, while sending out 6 right-handed bats like they did today. And I mentioned the 6 right-handed bats because this year numbers are skewed a tad, as last year he had a 1.5 higher K per 9 versus the left-handed side, and throughout his career, it's over 1+ more strikeout per batter, per 9. And as I said, guys, his stats are skewed, and in his strikeouts haven't been anywhere near where JV is used to. And we talked about it over the last few weeks and how it is coming back around and how we did expect positive regression coming when it comes to his low strikeouts in the first half of the year. As his velo is the same as last year, guys, and his spin rate is actually up on every pitch since last season as well. So that's a nice sign, guys. Your second year back from Tommy John. As if you don't know, your first year coming back from Tommy John, you're probably in the best shape of your fucking life. You just had the rehab for 9 to 12 months and bust your ass to get back, guys. And it's usually the second and third year that you tend to fall off and slack off. So to see that this man's spin rate has gone up on every pitch, it just wasn't making sense looking at his K props, guys. And it was like, it's coming. And JV starting to look a little bit more like JV over the last few weeks. So let's go talk about this. So why was the reason then that we ran these K prop over 5.5 last time, guys? And I'm going to tell you, oh, fuck, did I get lucky, baby. Because I went and looked back on this, guys, and I looked at I said, oh, fuck, I did the lineups during the All-Star break. I was strictly going off overall numbers. And I'm like, the overall numbers said they were freaking not walking and striking out 23.5% of the time. And I was like, okay, I can get in here with that with JV and whoop, whoop. No, the lineup said the total fucking ass backwards shit. So I was like, okay, maybe it was their chaser whip. So I spent time, bro. I went through the whole lineup, did their whole chase and whip. And that lineup from June 14th was league average in chase, league average in width, ran out 6 righties, which doesn't favor him, and that lineup wasn't striking out. And by the God's grace of fucking whatever reason, we cashed that 5.5 that day. Now, if this lineup matches the lineup that I'm looking at, yeah, God forbid, God willing, the rain stays away, Sharpie will be here to stay. Rain, rain, go away. Don't you come back another day. But right now it does show a very high clip and about 37%. So even though I am looking to run the lineups here, this is a spot that I will be looking to play Weatherman in, as Sharpie's got to make sure he doesn't put in a bet that ends up being rained, delayed at any given time that they start it, as that's the reason I believe why the under money has came in, as they're weather betters, because you sure as fuck ain't betting this man's under with looking at this lineup right here. Now, I get the 6 righties doesn't favor our boy, but it's not always about the lineup, as this is a strikeout percentage. This team is striking out, as the lineup that I did ran is the same lineup. Now I just want to check their whiff and their chase rate and make sure what they're at, and make sure they're just anywhere league average or better. And yeah, Verlander's going to end up with 6 or more strikeouts, as the book just don't lie. You went and put out 6 strikeouts versus a team who don't strike out, and now you got a team who does strike out. Good old willing, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So, shout out to the chat, guys. I appreciate you all for showing up. Smash that damn like button if you haven't, as it does help the algorithms a lot. We get to one of my favorite parts of the day, guys. And yeah, we'll get to that as when we get to that. So let me run these lineups as we talk some hitting props on this beautiful freaking Tuesday, and get to a nice steak dinner. And I'm not talking salmon. I'm talking ribeyes with Mike.
I didn't want salmon. I said it 4 times. Wedding is horseshit.
What's good, my guy? Glad to see you. As it seems to be, the days I do ask, the hitting props at least carry me. And yeah, I know you've been killing them straps, bro. You ready to rock though on this baseball card?
Yes, sir. I laugh when I hear that wedding is horseshit every time.
This Pocono Mike, guys, this strap Mike, this motherfucker hitting 25 to 50 to 1s on kart racing. Fuck, I bet it. I tailed it, and then when I watched it, I almost hung myself. Just don't watch it. Just don't watch it.
They can be fun. They can be fun. I'm learning some more of the guys' names. We're trying to figure it out, but we're here, man. We're here to stack that cash and put money in our pocket, brother. Let's go.
Let's freaking go. We got us a 3-pack on this Tuesday, so let's get to it. Your first game is where we have a guy on his retirement tour this year, but he's getting whacked around like a piñata at a kid's birthday party, and we're talking Royals at the Guardians. Who you looking at in this one?
Yeah, man, I got my guy Jose Ramirez, right? So I've been adding some new subjects or some new chapters to my hitting black book, if you will, but I got to go back to old reliable here in Jose Ramirez. Obviously it's Greinke, and it's an interesting spot that the Guardians couldn't get it done last night as those giant favorites. And, I think they remember that. Certainly they know that, they were in a spot with the letdown. We've got the sweet spot with Ramirez at plus 130. 17 at-bats. Ramirez has got a lot of success against Greinke, and I'm looking at this factor that kind of jumped out to me as well and saying the over after a Royals win and Greinke starts hasn't happened that much in his career, but over the 22 opportunities, it's gone to the over 14 times. So 14 times after the Kansas City Royals win in a Greinke start, it goes over. Tells me that maybe he just comes in and either A, he's a little too jacked up, or B, the team's a little bit of prime for a letdown after they got jacked up the previous day in their win. Either way, to me, it seems like it's a great opportunity for our guy, Jose Ramirez. He's plus 130. He's leading the team. Him and Anderson Jimenez are both great looks today, but I love the price here with the plus 130 spot for Jose Ramirez.
Jose. Yeah, I'm freaking out over here right now, man, because I've got lineups and I'm trying to make money, and yeah, so full unit bet right now, guys. We're taking Eduardo Rodriguez 7+ at plus 125 right now on DraftKings. You can get him at the minus 150 range. I don't give a fuck. They gave me at least 3, maybe even 4 lefties. Yeah, what are you fucking doing? But thank you, baby Jesus, as we get into the next part of Ribeyes with Mike, and I will run me another lineup as God hopefully will keep us out of the retirement home and not being underneath the bridge again. So second game of the day, which is on your list, I mean, is some game between some big boppers. And I'm talking the Braves at the Red Sox. Who you looking at here?
Yeah, so I went with the guy that kind of intermittent success here, but I think it's a Yoshida day. So Masataka Yoshida plus 170. In this situation, he's leading this Red Sox team in batting average, his on base percentage. He's leading the team in hits at 107. Here's a situation where, the Boston Red Sox, here's a little lean to a pick for you guys as well, are in a 12-0 specific situation today on the win. And I think it's a situation here where we've got a great lineup, a bunch of lefties out there squaring up and head-to-head with our guys over there in Atlanta. We know these Atlanta games can fly over the totals. Boston at home has times to fly over the total as well. And I couldn't resist the price. Yoshida, again, intermittent success with me, but at plus 170, guy that's leading that team in 3 of 5 batting categories against a team that's also got this ground Chuck going out there, Chucky Morton, who we know likes to put a ton of contact in play, and that's the way that he kind of plays the game. So great opportunity where I think we're going to see a high barrel rate in this Boston game, specifically on the Boston side. And I'm going to go with one of their leading stars in the hitting categories in Masataka Yoshida, plus 170.
Masataka Yoshida. Would you end up getting Jose Ramirez at?
Plus 130.
We gonna end the day, guys. Finishing it up with Mike's Ribeyes plays of the days, guys, with a game and a guy that I care deeply, deeply about. As this man's still on my freaking wall next to me in Dodger Blue, and he ain't a Doyer no more. This game is in the Crosstown Classic in bragging rights of the city as the Cubs head into the Sox home field at Guarantee Stadium. Let's tell these good people who you're looking to back in this spot.
Man, I got to take one of the hottest guys that's been playing the game here in the month of July, and Cody Bellinger. And his stats and his props and his opportunities are graded through the roof today. Here's a guy going up against Kopech. We know who Kopech is, and we know what he doesn't get done, and that's usually carry the game deep. And so in this situation here, he's walked 4 batters in 5 starts. That's a little suspect or problematic to me because it shows me that he's not afraid to throw the guy on base. And that certainly would hurt our opportunity for Bellinger if he does get heated up. But in this case here, Bellinger's stats are just incredible right now. He's hitting .452 with 7 home runs and 22 RBIs just in the month of July. So in his last 16 of 18 games, .452, 7 home runs, and 22 RBIs. The guy's just seeing the ball very clearly right now. He's in that crosstown rivalry spot where the boys get jacked up. You don't want to let your little brother beat you when it comes down to it. And if they're going to go into their house and they're going to take this game from him, then it's going to be behind Cody Bellinger getting this job done for us. And the Cody Bellinger prop is sitting at plus 145. The guy's just doing way too well in this situation, especially when you've got a Kopech struggling against lefties. Kopech's let 9 home runs up in 9 of his last 19 home runs have been specifically against lefties. He's in a situation where he struggles to throw to those lefty sides in that opposite look here. I think it's a great spot for Cody Bellinger, plus 145. Let's get it.
Let's get it, dude. All right. So I'm going to end up doing the lineups after the show and tweeting out the rest of the people that I got to bet because, dude, it takes time putting in these things, man, writing it all down. And then, having to do an average calculator. But for those showing up for the recap or here live for the goods, smash that like button as it does help people find out about the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. He's going to start Ribeyes with Mike, guys, with the old Jose Can You See play of the day. Jose Ramirez at plus 130 RBI, baby, versus Chucky himself on the retirement tour, where him and Wainwright should have fucking left like 8 years ago. But get in where you fit in and pick on Greinke when you can. Then we're gonna head on into a game of boppers, and I'm not talking about freaking Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, we're talking Masahiko Yoshida. Yeah, plus 170, plus fucking 170. You gotta that 3 times, guys. Why? Because that's good money. Why? Because these Red Sox are the best contact hitting team next to the Cleveland Guardians, and you get in versus old Charlie Mimo, and he hangs himself that old Uncle Charlie. It's bouncing off the green wall, if not going over. So he's also, since April, has been one of the best high velocity hitting freaking Red Sox they have. And Charlie does have some good old velo in that tank, in that 39-year-old body of his. So we're going to finish the day with a belly bomb, and we're talking Cody Bellinger's RBI at plus 145. And yeah, get in where you fit in, guys, because Mike takes his time, cuts it down from 20 to 15 to 10 to 5, and he's probably playing 10 to 15, but he's going to give you his fucking best 3. So like I said, get in where you fit in. Big Mike, I appreciate you as always for coming. Tuesdays are a blast. Tell these people where they can find you and what you got going on.
Yeah, well, you guys know I'm shooting around over on Twitter, Puff Sports Radio. Shout out to all you guys that showed up here for Sharpie and Akbar, Hector, Real Deal Prime, all you guys, Luke Case Fox. Man, it's always fun to come out here and try to get this cash here. You know, we're post All-Star break. We've got that first and second series out of the way. The jitters are settled down. We're moving on, and we're moving towards the second half of the season here. And I'm excited. I think it's going to be a really great opportunity to collectively build our bankrolls. And you know what I say, man, as my bankroll grows, I hope yours does too, man. Thanks, Sharpie. Appreciate you, dude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Until next time, I don't want salmon.
I didn't want salmon. I said it 4 times. Wedding is horseshit.
Hey, shout out to the chat, guys. We got 80 plus live, almost 50 likes. Smash it if you do like what you're hearing. As the chat's cracking off today, it's good to see some dudes up in here. Mr. Heat, as always, nobody knows my guy. Heck, Big Heck, back from vacation, back from chilling with them UFC studs, bro. Yeah, that's something that I definitely would recommend doing if you're into any type of sports, bro, and you got money. And you got to get money by playing the 250K solo winner over at DK and winning that bitch all by yourself like our man Heck did. So congrats, my boy. I'm glad life has turned for the good for someone we know, someone we like. We've already covered the first 3 pitchers on the board, and we just finished talking to some hitting props with Ribeyes with Mike. And the only bet we do have in right now, as the lineups did come out and I was able to get to that lineup, is Eduardo Rodriguez of the Detroit Tigers for a full unit at plus 125 to the over 6.5. As these fucking cucks ran 3 lefties out here versus this man. Granted, one of them's Ohtani, but Ohtani's damn near struck out half the times and is he's the only one who's actually seen Eduardo Rodriguez a decent clip, and he struck out half the times he's seen him. So lefty on lefty throughout his career, he does average 1.5 more strikeouts per 9. And yeah, these Angels are the Angels. Let's get into Pablo Lopez versus the Mariners, as this was another spot that I needed the lineups on, and it's probably out by now. No, it's not. Just the Angel one still sitting there. Number 50 in the black book versus the Mariners. He's striking people out this year at a 30.2% clip. Well, he's walking people 7% of the time. They opened him up on FanDuel at 8+, plus 118, and he's now at minus 105 for the best available line, and it's still on FanDuel. PrizePicks has him at a 7.5, whereas hits allowed under over are at a straight 5 on PrizePicks. Projected lineup today is 6 righties and 3 lefties. Pablo Lopez is in a back-to-back with the twin or the Mariners. He plays for the Twin Tarpey after we had a really good read on Castillo in a back-to-back yesterday. So we get to talk the Mariners numbers, and we know by now they're not good. They're walking below league average. They are crushing the baseball if we go back to the All-Star break where these 15 days go by with a team-isolated power in the 200s. Yet they're striking out near 28% of the time. So, yeah, the numbers pretty much say play versus these Mariners, but there is a little bit of volatility there. And, Yeah, it's not just their overall numbers. They're top 5 worst in the league in chase and whiff percentage as well. Now, Lopez just seen them 5 days ago, and he had a very bumpy first inning, 35 pitches, and ended the day going 6 innings with just 7 strikeouts. And that's where that volatility can come in. That got him into trouble and almost pulled in the second inning. He settled on in and went on cruise control. So, yeah, you can have one bad inning. You just got to settle back the fuck in, or that bad inning can't be in the 5th where the game is actually meaning something. So, is what it is. Life's a bitch and you marry one, but he only got 7 strikeouts. And I'm going to tell you that's music to my ears. As like I said all year, and once again yesterday, if a guy goes out and has a day, I just have to let him go the next time on a back-to-back. A la Luis Castillo yesterday when I took his outs instead of strikeouts. But Pablo didn't go out and have some crazy-ass day. He went out and actually put up less than what he's been averaging in his last 10 games. Granted, he is only averaging 7.7, but you catch my drift on me getting to him. He had an actual below average day is what my drift is on that. So is what it is. And I will look to back a guy on this K prop today, especially the situation Pablo finds himself in. As I don't have a bet in yet, as I do want to see the lineups, and I may alt him down for a half unit alt parlay, or I may just play the 7.5 as well as a straight bet, as I just want to have the lineups to make sure everything is in my favor and that it says play, as in it is a back-to-back, and there is some volatility there that he could get whacked. So I'm telling myself right now I need to make this a half unit play if I do choose to decide to get in, as it is a beautiful spot. And I don't hate you if you're looking at it, as like I said, he didn't go out and slay a bunch last time. So the slaying is definitely in the cards today. Let's get into another guy, which is in like one of these absurd matchups, but the guy he's facing is in an even more absurd matchup, and I'll touch on him a little bit, but he ain't a guy we're going to break down crazy. Number 14 in the black book, Corbin Burnes versus the red. He's striking people out this year at a 25.4% clip while walking people 8.5% of the time. Opened them up at 8 plus minus 144 on FanDuel, where the best line available to that 7.5 is still on FanDuel, but now at a minus 152. 7.5 on PrizePicks, whereas hits allowed under over are at a 4.5 on PrizePicks. Lineup is out, and it is 5 lefties and 4 righties. Now we have Corbin Burnes in a great spot as we look at the numbers, as these Reds are not walking at only 6.5% of the time. Yet they are smashing the ball with a team isolated power on the 200s, but they're also striking out 26% of the time. And their projected lineup is now a lineup of 5 lefties, which not just this year, but going back since he incorporated his cutter as his main pitch, he's had at least 2.4 more strikeouts per 9 versus the left-handed side than the right-handed side. So this seems like a smash spot, right? Wrong. Fuck, man. How many times has he got to see this red team in a 4-game span? How about this going to be his 3rd time? Where the first time he only went out, had 6 strikeouts in 6 innings. But like we just talked about with Pablo, you can hit that over on a back-to-back if you have a average or below average day. And that's what Corbin Burnes did on that back-to-back. He went out there and mowed him down with 13 strikeouts. Yeah, that was July 14th, the 2nd time seeing this team. Now it's July 25th, the 3rd time. I mean, golly, bud, like, what the, chingalo, man, like, yes, it's a great spot, but, if he doesn't fucking hit it, I get it. And I'm not paying no minus 150 juice for a guy seeing the same team that many times in a fucking less than 20 or 24-day period if you add in the little all-star break. But it was still just 7 days in between the back-to-back. And, yeah, that just shit ain't for sharp Cleta. Now, the other side, I still wouldn't bet Burnes under. I get it. This team is striking out. He's got good past history, yada, 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 yada. I get it. I don't hate it if you're on it. I'm explaining to you why I'm not on it. Now, who I'm not on and who I would look to bet the under, I just have tiny, tiny ball nuts, is the other side of this, guys. Andrew Abbott. Andrew Abbott, like Corbin Burns, has now seen the same team for the third time in a 4-week period. But not like Corbin Burns. This kid's a rookie. He's had 9 games in the fucking big leagues. 9. And now 4 of them will be against the Milwaukee Brewers. Like, fuck, bro. This is a guy who relies on deception, on hiding the ball. I don't think you go hide the fucking ball versus this team. Now, they can't hit, and I may actually take this into wanting to look at his outs, because I just maybe just spoke myself into looking at Andrew Abbott's outs. As in 50% of the time that the Brewers do put the ball in play, it is a ground ball. Now, I've got to check and see if he's now a ground ball pitcher and yada, 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 yada. But there's no way in hell I'd look to bet his K-prop over. Or, well, I get you betting Corbin Burns, but I'm just telling you I can't. But, This kid ain't seen nobody but these Milwaukee Brewers. Granted, they suck. They suck versus lefties. I get it. Yeah. So what? This is a kid seeing the same team now for the 4th time in his young 9-game career. So that's not for me, Poppy. Not for me. But you know what is for me, guys? Those 50-something likes in the 90 live. If you haven't already, smash that damn like button, as it does help the algorithms a lot, where we talk about some Snellzilla morning line, because he wasn't available at night, and I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning wrestling some BBWs. 8 plus minus 128 on FanDuel, where the best line available now is on MGM to that over 7.5, and that's on BetMGM at minus 145. PrizePicks has them at a flat 8, whereas earned runs, hits, outs are not available on PrizePicks. Your projected lineup for your Buccos today: 7 righties, 0 lefties. We're going to end the day, guys, with the best spot. Everyone and your favorite titty capper, including me, is on today. And we were all on Ohtani the last time he pitched as well. As even a blind man can tell you about the Pittsburgh Pirates' struggles versus a left-handed pitchers. As their numbers over the last 200 plate appearances, and they suck. Their league average and walk percentage, they're not hitting at all, with a team isolated power of less than 100, and they're striking out at a 26.5% clip. You already know we've been picking on these Pirates as much as we can. So let's go back and see who they faced that we would bet on, and we did bet on in this time span of these bad numbers. Reed Detmers went out there and detonated a time bomb on their ass, getting 9 strikeouts. Logan Allen had a career day, putting out 8 buccos on less than 80 pitches. Julio Urias had tied his career high mark, or not his career, his year high mark with 8 strikeouts. And they got Snellzilla back on June 28th, where he went out and had himself a 10-piece. And that's where the numbers cut off, because I could have kept off ringing off a career day at 13 strikeouts and a 10-pack if I just would have went back to the next series. So, I get it. You get it. We get it. I'm on Blake Snell over 7.5, minus 128. And for those who have books who have moved them to an 8.5, you're not chasing, as he has a 50% win percentage to the 7.5. So those who got in with the 7.5 or have legal books, we're paying the juice for the tax. Where the other books moved it up a whole strikeout, where it's like Sharpie 316, Rule 34 Sharpie, we don't chase. You're not chasing. He has a 40% win rate to the 8.5, and in my opinion, that's what plus money should be at. I get it. I actually thought we would get a 7.5 minus 130 to even an 8.5. I didn't know if they were going to even allow the 7.5s to be there. But because the man hasn't hit that 7.5 in his last 2 games, I think the books are willing to give us a little back of that Blake Snell money, guys. So I'm in on Blake Snell for the full unit over 7.5 at -128. And like I said, a blind man could have told you that. Your favorite titty capper on Twitter right now, that's her best bet of the day. And I don't care. It is what it is. Just go out there and do what you should do and let the Pirates be the Pirates versus lefties and suck schlong and pay us bills. So, yeah. For those showing up for the recap, do me a favor and smash that like button, as it does help those find the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. As today is the day I needed lineups, and they did come out, but I haven't had time to process the lineups and do all the work that I need, so I will tweet out everybody else that I do add on as I get it. I'm adding some on today because there's some great spots that we did talk about. I do have a full unit bet on Snellzilla at 7.5 -128. And then I have a full unit bet on Eduardo Rodriguez over 6.5 at +125. I'm definitely looking at Verlander. I'm definitely looking at Pablo Lopez. And depending on what the gods put out for us, that is what I shall bet, as I am not going to force a damn thing. I ain't been hot enough to be like, hold my beer. And we going to get this shit turned around with guys in great spots, with great win percentages, and spots they shine. And after today, yesterday will be soon forgotten. So until next time, do us a favor, smash that like button, hit that retweet, and let people know about the Balking Dead. As you already know, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSports. You're going to get a match deposit up to 100, minimum of 25 on your first deposit. Until next time, I'm Sharpie's Bets. Our special guest today was Pimp Slap Play of the Day, Mike M. And this show is on Pub Sports Radio. Some say we be pubbing. I say Snellzilla, Snellzilla.
Keep firing, assholes!
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round.